If you work a lot with rasters in ArcGIS Pro, the Raster Calculator is a useful go-to tool. It's a fast, compact way to process raster data, and it can simplify workflows that would otherwise take several geoprocessing tools. And in this video, we'll look at how it works and what you can do with it. So, a raster is a grid of cells representing a measured value, like elevation, temperature, slope, rainfall, anything numeric, with each cell storing a number. These cell values can be modified or transformed by the raster calculator. Some rasters have multiple bands, like satellite imagery, where each band might represent red, green, or blue light. In multiband rasters like this, the raster calculator performs any operation on every band in the raster, processing each band separately. And for that reason, typically when using the raster calculator, we work with single band rasters. It's important to note that the raster calculator always creates a new raster as output. It does not modify an existing raster. Also, to use the raster calculator, you need either a spatial analyst or an image analyst license. With that in mind, let's run through some examples. So to use the calculator, we go to the Analysis ribbon, Tools, and we can either use the Image Analyst or the Spatial Analyst toolbox. Go to Map Algebra and Raster Calculator. So the calculator is a geoprocessing tool. And at the top of the dialog, we've got the rasters list, and this is a list of all the rasters that are currently in the contents in this map. And the layer that's being displayed is an elevation layer in feet. And if we click around on the layer, it's being displayed with a shaded relief. But if we click on any point in the layer, we can see the pixel value is the actual height in feet at that particular point. And the most basic thing we can do with a calculator is to run an arithmetic expression, and that's evaluated on a cell-by-cell basis. So we could convert this layer from feet to meters. So if we double-click on the layer in the rasters list, it'll move to the expression box. And then on the right here, we've got all these tools, which is a bunch of operators, some functions, and so on, just here for convenience. So if we multiply this layer by 0.3048, which is the calculation to move from feet to meters, and then we give the output raster a name and a location, because the calculator always produces a new layer. We don't alter the input layer, and we run the tool. We will create a new layer, which was then added to the map automatically, and it's got the default symbology. So let's give it shaded relief like the other one. We've got a new layer which has been converted from feet to meters, and it looks a bit pixelated at the moment. So let's give it, let's build some pyramids for this layer. But essentially the calculator has been through, multiplied every single cell in that other layer by that expression, and we've got a new layer, and we have converted from feet to meters. And if we click on the layer, and with both layers displayed, we can see our new layer is just under 4,000 meters, and in the old layer it's about 12,500 feet, so the calculation has been made. The other thing the calculator can do is run raster functions, and there's a full list of supported functions in the ArcGIS Pro documentation. And for example, if we look at the slope function, this operates on a DEM, an elevation layer. And this calculates the rate of change from one pixel value to its neighbors. So it populates every cell with the angle of the slope at that point. So we're replacing a height value with an angle value. And if we see how we would do that in the raster calculator, we'd go into the expression and put in the slope function definition. And then we can add the layer. So we'll add this elevation in meters. Then we put in the keyword. In this case, we're going to use degree, so the output will be in degrees, because you can have a percentage rise as well. And then we'll give the output a name, so topo angles. And then when that runs, we've got the layer added to the map in the default black and white. So if we click on the layer that's been produced, what we get is the angle at that point. So that click there, we can see we've got a 30-degree angle from that DEM. So the function has produced this layer by using its neighbors. And that's one of the benefits of using one of these raster functions. Unlike the arithmetic expression we use to convert meters to feet, here we're using the neighboring cells to calculate the output. Another thing we can do with functions is we can do conditional logic in the calculator. And we have a function con for conditional, and it performs a conditional if-else evaluation. So if a condition is true, do this. If not, do something else. So let's see an example of that. So we can take our angle raster we've just generated, and we can create a new raster to just highlight the really steep areas. So if we put in con for the conditional, we define this, and then we'll add our angles layer we generated as a parameter, and then say if it is greater than 30, so if it's greater than 30 degrees, return a 1, and if it's not greater than 30 degrees, return a 0. So we're just going to generate a simple binary output, where 1 for angles greater than 30 and 0 for not. So we're just really highlighting those steep angles. So let's give the output raster a name and run that. And the binary layer comes in, and we can see the 1 values are being shown in red and the 0s in grey. And if we just flick that on and off, what we can see is the steep areas where there is a drop off in the elevation. This is where the red areas are in the high ground. And this kind of binary classification could be useful for some kind of infrastructure suitability survey. So in our case, we ended up with 3 rasters to get an answer, but we didn't really need to do that. We can actually do that all within a single statement. And this is just by having a nested expression. So we would start with our feet elevation layer and multiply that to get our meters. We have that within the slope function to generate the angles from the meters layer. And again, we do need it in meters because the layer needs to have the elevation units the same as the projected units. And then the slope angles that are generated from that we have within the conditional statement, which calculates when the angles are greater than 30 degrees to get our final output. And if we run that, we will get exactly the same output. And this is the advantage of the calculator, is it can be much more efficient than doing everything through geoprocessing tools. The raster calculator is a fully chained map algebra environment. Another example of a nested expression is we can use it for classification. So if we look at this temperature layer, and we've got the red areas for hotter areas and the lighter colors for cooler areas, and we can classify this into groups. So let's just paste the expression into the expression box just to save a little bit of time. So it's quite hard to see because the expression box is quite small, but let's unpack this. So if we look at the first part of this expression, what it's saying is we've got a conditional function which says if the temperature is greater than 35, so if it's greater than 35 degrees, add the number 4. If that's false, if it's not greater than 35, then rather than adding a value for the false part like we did before, we are just calling another conditional function. And this conditional function says if the temperature is greater than 25, add the number 3. And again, if it's false, we're calling another conditional function. And the final conditional function is if it's greater than 15, add the number 2. And if it's false, this time is the only time we're just returning a value, return 1. So if it's less than 15 degrees, return 1. And so that will add numbers 1 to 4 depending on the band of temperature. So if we run that, we get a new layer, and indeed it's just got a few values. The number 1 value hasn't been added, so obviously there were no temperatures below 15 degrees. But we do have 2, 3, and 4 for those bands of temperature. Now we can go to the symbology, and we can add labels for these numbers. So we can make 2 to be moderate, 3 to be high, and 4 to be extreme. And if we flick that layer on and off, we can see that we're really highlighting the really hot areas. And we could sort those values as well, just to get them in a better order. And we have classified our rasters in a very, very easy to see breakdown of where the hot and cooler areas are. So that's a way of doing classification with nested expressions. So far we've been operating on just one layer at a time in the calculator, but we can operate on multiple rasters at once. So let's look at a simple example. We've got these two layers here. We've already said one is the temperature. It's the temperature during the day. And below it, we've got the temperature during the night. So slightly cooler. So what if we want to find the mean between these two layers? So we can do that. We go to the raster calculator. We add the first layer, which is the temperature during the day. And then we would add the layer with the temperature during the night. And then we can just divide it by 2. And because this is a map algebra expression, we just use the brackets to control the sequence where the operation is executed. And when we run that, we'll get the mean between those two layers. And if we do the symbology to be the same as those layers, and turn it off, of course, it's a bit cooler than the day temperature and a bit warmer of the night temperature, so we have a mean. So that's using more than one layer in the calculator. The raster calculator essentially gives you a lightweight coding window for map algebra. You can carry out maths on rasters, chain functions, build conditional logic, and combine datasets, all inside a single expression. And once you get comfortable with the idea that every raster is just a grid of numbers, the calculator becomes a fast and flexible way to turn those numbers into answers. Now, the raster calculator uses Python-like syntax, another example of how ArcGIS Pro is closely aligned with Python. In Pro, Python is the common language that underpins scripting for automation and analysis. And for anyone using GIS regularly, Python has become an essential skill. And if you're interested in mastering Python for ArcGIS Pro, we're putting together a comprehensive course on the subject. And if you'd like more details of that, join the waitlist via the link in the description.